A new friend. I don't know how many minutes I sat there, enveloped by the sounds and the scents of the sea, before I heard the faint sound of footsteps on the sandy path leading up to the bench. When I opened my eyes again, I saw that someone had silently joined me on my seaside bench. He sighed. What a sight! It's hard not to be inspired from this vantage point, wouldn't you say? All I could do was nod. I managed a slight smile. Hi, I'm Ted, he said, extending his hand. Mind if I sit here? I don't mean to intrude. I shook his firm, friendly, and strangely familiar hand. David, I simply said. I had come to that bluff overlooking the sea to contemplate, to try to make some sense out of the unexpected twists and turns my life had taken. It seemed that a new choice was being offered me, though I was anything but clear about what it all meant. My emotions were caught in a cross-current between grief and hope. Despite the new direction I had been given from within, I felt disoriented. And now here was this friendly stranger beside me. He had a walking stick, more like a staff, that he held with both hands between his knees. I couldn't tell if it was fashioned from the branch of a tree, or if it had been a long piece of driftwood that may have washed up on the beach. In any case, it was worn smooth, except for a few knots that appeared like dark eyes along the shaft. We sat there in silence for a long time. I didn't know it yet, but I had just met a teacher who would help me answer some of the most important questions in my life. It was the beginning of getting to know Ted. So what brings you here to this bench and this magnificent moment, he asked. A fair question, I thought, but who was this guy? Why should I tell a stranger what was going on with me? There was a quiet expectancy in his presence, as if he knew I had something to share. Yet there was a spaciousness that put no pressure on me to speak right away. I sensed that I could wait 5 seconds, 5 minutes, or 5 hours. Time was not of the essence. What was on my mind and heart was. There was a comfort I felt. He seemed so friendly, and his question was certainly an open invitation. I ventured forth. Oh, I've come here to think, just to sit and reflect. That's good to do from time to time. It's all too easy to run through life without reflecting. Life's lessons can be lost if you never pause. What a beautiful place to come and take stock. Yes, it is, I replied, though I have to admit I sometimes lose sight of all this beauty when I get caught up in my own drama. Oh yes, drama, Ted remarked. That seems to be such a big part of the human experience. Look at all these people walking on the beach. Every one of them probably has some sort of drama going on in their lives. They all have their stories. What, if I may ask, is yours? I don't mean to intrude. I'm just curious. Then it all spilled out. I told him about everything. My recent divorce, the death of my dad. I even told him about my infertility. He nodded, encouraging me. I didn't detect even an ounce of judgment coming from Ted, or pity for that matter. He looked out over the ocean, turning my way occasionally and nodding in acknowledgement. Emboldened by his calm acceptance, I shared the full depth of my inner struggle, how I had felt like a victim. The whole mess just flowed out as Ted listened. For some reason, though, I wasn't quite ready yet to divulge the revelation that Creator was my new alternative, the stance I must take to replace the old sense of being a victim of my own life. Instead, I said, I've come to see how much of my life I have lived from the perspective of being a victim. I'm ready for something else.